Good morning, welcome back. So often we talk about Chicago's gun violence, so we also want to pause and talk about the ways that people are working to fight against it. This week's Changemaker is doing that work by investing in the healing and the empowerment of Black and brown women here in the city of Chicago. I want you to meet Eva Maria Lewis, founder of the nonprofit, The Free Route Operation. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad we can talk about this topic. Let's first start with one of the biggest programs that you're running, which is Bloom. This is all about women. Can you just talk about what the program is all about?
Absolutely. So we started Bloom last year. It was piloted with 10 women. Most of them were single mothers, and it came from a food paying program where we were delivering groceries to hundreds of families, and we realized that of the hundreds of families we were delivering food to, we can count on our hands how many of them were men. And so we were talking to these women, and they said they needed empowerment, they needed agency, wanted to be better mothers and community members. And so that's where we started Bloom, which pours into Black women in particular through self-love, self-care, nourishment, and transformation.
Wow, and we're seeing some of the pictures and video of those women. This program is all about not only exposing them to new things and new opportunities, but also they work with a social worker. So there's lots of parts to this program.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were able to pair all of the women with a social worker to teach them how to set goals and attain those goals. And in order to graduate the 6-month program in December, they all had to attain a goal. And it was really amazing. Some of them decided they wanted to be pastry chefs, wanted to be homeowners, all of these things that they really were not able to envision and dream about before the program.
Oh, that's so amazing. And let's talk about the role of single moms and women in our communities, especially when it comes to combating gun violence, because this is a very unique approach that you're taking with this.
Absolutely. So I studied sociology at Penn, and my focus was gun violence. And so everyone always says gun violence comes from inherent chaos, but really what we believe at Fro is that gun violence stems directly from trauma and lack of investment. And everyone talks about how we have so many single moms, myself included. I was raised by a single mom, but nobody creates the infrastructure to pour into them. And so that's what the program is doing. When you think about how many single mothers are in impoverished communities, that's untapped power right there. If we can empower them, we can empower their families and their children and create an entirely new generation that has the care and the love they need in order to thrive.
You said the word generation, and that made me think about breaking those generational cycles.
Absolutely.
And really intercepting and interrupting that, right?
Absolutely, yes. This is about the effects of slavery, the effects of the war on drugs. This is about things that have systemically divested Black communities and caused us to be in a state of spiritual disarray. And what we're trying to do is heal, because we believe that the solution is to heal.
And it's amazing to see the pictures of the women and going through the program, from gardening to field trips, seeing different parts of the city that they may not even have seen or been exposed to.
Yes, and eating foods they hadn't either. We had donors from Fulton Market all over the city donating really good quality food and exposing them to nourishment they had not been able to have before. So it wasn't just the field trips, apple picking, lake retreats, but it was food, it was community, it was a safe space.
And we're seeing some of those videos here with the Free Route Operation and the Bloom program. Last thing I want to ask you is, what type of transformation have you seen in the women going through this program when it comes to how they can now go out to their community and affect change that way?
I think a lot of people, we did a survey in the beginning where we asked about community power and voice, and at the beginning people said that they thought, you know, Black people, we have power, but they felt like they themselves didn't have power. And by the end, people were having ideas. I want to start this group. I want to do this in my community. I want to teach my kids, my nieces about these things. And just to see them go from, I really wish someone would lead, to starting to envision themselves as leaders, that was the point of the program. We want to cultivate a community of leaders. Fro is not here to lead, but rather to lead the next generation of leaders. We want us all to thrive and us all to succeed.
Eva Maria Lewis, thank you so much for talking to us about the Free Route Operation and what you're doing through Bloom. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.